Hello once again, it's me, Jon Kirkman. I am a broadcaster and journalist based in the UK, and I'm just going through things that you may have missed that have just recently come out or maybe came out a little earlier this year because we're going back into lockdown, a lot of us. So we're going to need things to play, things to read, things to watch, and you get to do two of those things with this particular package. You get to listen to it and you also get to watch it as well. It's a double CD and DVD package of Steve Hackett's concert, which was filmed last year. What used to be known and still is amongst all the musicians and everyone else who ever went there, the Hammersmith Odeon in London. I think it's called the Eventime Apollo now or something like that. It's changed names quite a lot, but in the 70s it was known as the Hammersmith Odeon, and that's how most people remember it. Basically, this tour was to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Spectral Mornings and also the Genesis album Selling England by the Pound, which has always been Steve Hackett's favourite Genesis album. It's also the favourite album of a lot of people, and I can understand why. It was when Genesis really kind of broke out. They had a hit single, albeit not a massive hit single, but it was a hit single. The first time Genesis had a hit single, which was taken from the album, which of course was I Know What I Like, In Your Wardrobe. Now, in here, of course, you get lots of various photographs from the particular concert. There you go. And there's the three discs, the two audio discs and the Blu-ray or DVD disc. Now, in here is, as you would expect, a nice little booklet. And there's some fabulous photos in here of Steve taken during the concert. Now right now Steve has an absolutely amazing band, and I was watching this concert last night just to remind myself of how good the concert was. I caught the tour in Liverpool at the Liverpool Philharmonic, and I've got to say there's nobody finer currently touring Britain than Steve Hackett. You're not going to get these songs really from Genesis anymore. Steve concentrates on the part of the band's history where he was a member of the band, which was from 1970 to 1977. Genesis, well, quite rightly, concentrates on the more commercially successful aspect. They do occasionally venture back a little bit and do the odd song and put a spike in the set, as they say. But really, if you want the real original Genesis stuff, and with this band, Steve Hackett can really deliver. Favourite songs? Gosh, I can remember seeing Steve Hackett on the original Spectral Mornings tour in 1979, and he had a wonderful band then as well. That was a really big album for a lot of people. It wasn't Steve's commercial peak. That came with Defector, which was about a year later in 1980, and another great album as well. Selling England by the Pound performed in its entirety. I don't know whether Genesis actually did that. I think they may have done once or twice, but it's really one of those classic albums that is liked, in fact loved, by so many Genesis fans. So when Steve goes out doing the Genesis Revisited stuff, he sells out venues literally all over the world now. One of the highlights, well, possibly two of the highlights, cinema show, and also I love Battle of Epping Forest. Which, I mean, bless him, Nad really had to do his homework on that particular song, because he plays it out exactly like Peter Gabriel did back in the day, with all the different characters and the different voices. But as I said, the whole band really shines throughout this recording in a live setting. And the other one, of course, as I said, cinema show. And then there's Firth of Fifth as well. I mean, there's so many highlights on this. Another really nice aspect of this album is a song called Deja Vu, which was originally written around about the same time as Selling England by the Pound by Steve and Peter Gabriel. And Steve approached Peter and said, look, can we use this? And Peter Gabriel said, yeah, we'll just split the royalties or whatever, the publishing, and yeah, do it. Steve wrote a little bit of an extra thing to it, which was great. And he explains that in the DVD. What you can do is get the whole concert on DVD or Blu-ray in this package, but you also get extras on the DVD You get kind of the sound check, you get before the sound check, you get the meet and greet, and then you get after the show. But Steve explains how the Deja Vu song came about. And it's a really interesting thing because, of course, like a lot of fans, they may have heard about the song but never heard it before, and you do get to hear it. And it's placed in the set where Steve thinks it should go regarding the Selling England material. Again, Steve has been releasing studio albums and then, of course, touring and then releasing a live album for the last few years now. They're all incredible releases, and they're all kind of little sort of areas or little eras of Genesis when Steve was in the band. He was meant to be touring this year on right the way through the year, and they were going to be performing Seconds Out in its entirety, which again, for a lot of Genesis fans, this is going to be incredible, because even though Genesis were going to be touring as well this year, I'm pretty sure there weren't going to be too many songs from Seconds Out that they were going to be performing. Of course, that is the great thing when you're in a band and you have such a long legacy and a huge catalogue of albums to choose from. I'm not knocking Genesis, I love them live and I really like what they do now, and I'm sure the tour would have been amazing. But sadly, like a lot of artists, in fact every single artist I know and I've worked with, there's not been any touring. So I don't know when that's going to end. I'm hoping that it's going to be in the next 12 months, of course, but who knows? So in the meantime, getting these live shows and watching them on DVD in your own home is probably the nearest you're going to get to actually seeing a live concert. So this particular release is out now. You can get it from your online retailer. It's well worth getting. Like I said, you get 2 CDs of the entire show, and then you get a DVD of the entire show and lots of extras on there as well. And I think if you're a Steve Hackett and a Genesis fan, this is going to be something that you will want in your collection. So that's it. Steve Hackett live at Hammersmith.